Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Maria, and in today's video we're gonna talk about the voices in our mind. Okay guys, so these voices in our mind represent the duality in this world. You know, light and darkness, intuition and logic, sanity and insanity, you and the fake you. This duality exists so we can experience life as we now do. Without it, we couldn't have the experiences that we now do, because how can you see light without darkness? How can you experience the joy of being totally and completely yourself if you never was anything else? How can you experience peace if you never experienced the lack of it? So, do you know that almost all the people that ever went in the space had very profound spiritual experiences? Well, why do you think is that? Well, because when you are in the space, you are forced to lose all the labels that you had and forced to see the unity, you know? Like in the space, there is no left or right, no up or down. These things are all subjective. Your left can mean someone else's right, and how can it be up or down when you are looking at the sky above you and now you are looking like down on the earth, you know? Like, you see, the point is that you see that these labels don't mean anything on an universal level. They mean something just on a personal level. So you can't really judge things either, because there is no sadness and happiness. You can't really get upset on a piece of rock, you know? How crazy would that be, even if it hits you or not? Well, it's exactly the same with the voices in our mind. One is forcing you to see separation everywhere, to label, judge, and see things only from a personal perspective, you know? And the other one is forcing you to see the unity, to see the universal truth and the universal order of things. Something like one makes sense, but one is the sense, you know? And then there is another facet of duality, and that is the differentiation between how things seem to be and how things really are. And in the case of the voices in our mind, this is a very important aspect, because once you start losing your personal view and your personal perspective, it might seem like you start losing your identity. But what is actually happening once you start looking at the bigger picture is that you are gaining back your true identity. Something like you start giving up on what you made of yourself and you start becoming what you really are. Okay, so in reality, we all kinda know that we have loving thoughts and fearful thoughts and stuff like that, but it's usually so many of them that the confusion is way too big to be able to differentiate. And then there is another aspect that, you know, the fearful voice, it's always the loudest one. So how can you actually determine the source of a thought? Well, there is a way, and it's not even that hard. Like, you just have to be honest with yourself first, and then ask yourself a few questions in front of a decision. Ask yourself, is this a loving thing? Do I really want this? Is this something that represents me? Like, if the answer is yes, then maybe you won't even need to ask yourself this question, because you will already know what you have to do. But if you doubt, then ask yourself these questions. And if you feel like you don't want it, or that it doesn't represent you, then, you know, don't do it. The point of realizing the source of every thought is that you have to get familiar with this place of love, you know, inside you. Like, you need to get back away from fear and back in the place of love. Now, this place, of course, it's like the intuition and all that, you know, the compassion, the creativity. The thing is that you know you have that inside you, but you have to act out of it as much as possible. You have to, examine that part, to let it fill you up, so you can know that place perfectly. And then, you just unlock it. If you get familiar with that place, you can go there anytime you want. And of course, as I previously said, it might seem like you have something to lose by always acting lovingly, by always acting out of that place of love. But you are actually gonna gain everything. I am always saying that enlightenment might seem to take you everything, but that's just so you can have back the everything. Okay, so what was the point of this video? The point is that if your purpose is growing, and our purpose is always growing, we are just not always aware of the true desires of our soul. But if you are aware that your purpose is growing, then growing is to be achieved only through this place of love. I'm talking about it because I know from my own experience that it helps so much to have some clues about that place, to have as many glimpses as possible. But never forget that you are the one who longs to know yourself the most. So this is always about giving yourself the grandest present you can possibly have. Thanks for watching, guys. This was the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it a little bit useful at least. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I love to talk to you. I love to talk in general. So just take advantage of me.